Well, hello and welcome back to EmComm Solutions. My name is Jake, and today we're going to talk the state of Meshtastic, LoRa, mesh communications, because it is really, in this last 6 months, in my opinion, is really blown up. There's lots of channels on YouTube that kind of new channels coming around. This channel's new. However, if you look back, I'll put up a link actually over here of my LoRa Mesh Communications playlist over at my other YouTube channel, which is Ravenwood Acres. And of course, at the end, there'll be some links for all that stuff too. And I also compile a lot of the links down below. So if you, for some reason, miss them here in the video, go ahead and just go down to that description. You're going to find some links there. So I've been exploring and utilizing mesh communications using these type of devices like this LilyGo T-Deck, which is one of the most recent additions to my collection of LoRa devices for about 2 years now. And when I first got into it, seemed like there was not a whole lot of information, at least on YouTube. There's a lot of online resources like Discord, the Discourse group on Meshtastic group, GitHub, and some other, like obviously Meshtastic.org. I've created, and I'll put also a link over here, a Telegram group, and we're over 140 members now. Active conversation. We talk about projects, questions and answers. Like trying to figure out if someone's having the same problem that I'm having. And just regular old, chatting about whatever, new things that are coming, and LoRa sharing videos that we've seen on YouTube. So it's a good group, lively discussion. I highly recommend you join that if you're into this, into LoRa mesh communications, using these devices like LilyGo, Rack Wireless, the Heltec. I don't own any Heltec. They seem like decent devices. Maybe in the future I'll add a few to my collection, and so I can learn a little bit more about using them. But either way, there's plenty of people over there that can help answer questions, and to include myself, of course. So, all right, with all that, where are we at? So, what really I'm starting to see is a much higher profile advertisement or discussions about Meshtastic. The guys over at Meshtastic have been on a couple interviews here recently. I'll share those links down below. The Ham Radio Crash Course website or YouTube channel, which is where I believe I first found out about LoRa Mesh, or T-beams, and of course that was my first purchase. It was a couple T-beams, LilyGo T-beams, and that kind of started my adventure. So because I was already an amateur radio operator, Josh over there at the Ham Radio Crash Course YouTube channel, it was somebody I was already subscribed to and watched quite a bit of his content over the years prior to even learning about LoRa and these awesome LilyGo and Rack Wireless devices. So yeah, I think I'm seeing, that's where I'm getting excited, because my playlist and this channel, EmComm Solutions, Emergency Communication Solutions, is about trying to promote people getting more into communications other than your conventional, cell phones or whatever, whether it's, ham radios, GRMS radios, LoRa, it's any shape satellite. There's a lot of different things you can do now with satellite, with like the inReach devices, spot devices, other things like that wasn't available or wasn't that affordable not that long ago for most people. That's where I believe this kind of really helps open up the market for a lot of people. If they're looking for some sort of text-based solution to their comms plan, that's where this comes in, and people are starting to see it. And where we're going to break that barrier to entry is, for one, there's the information now available in the market for the average person that maybe doesn't have a whole lot of electronics experience, or just doesn't want to deal with like trying to solder things or figure out how to wire something, even as simple as maybe connecting a battery. That may seem simple for myself or others, but some people, that is not their thing. And that's, I'm fine with that. That not everybody has to know how to do those type of things, especially if you have the income, the capital to be able to say, hey, I'd rather just pay for or buy that's ready to go off the shelf. I don't have the T-Echoes back in the other room right now, but charging. So the T-Echo, that's why I recommended the LilyGo T-Echo, and I'll just put an image of that up in here. It's it's off the shelf ready. That's a best. If you want to be able to like get your friends, family, or whatever, you hand them one of those, and it's not that circuit board, PCB board with chips on it, and I don't know, this little screen, and it's not a bomb, right? So it's those things are intimidating for a lot of people. Some people like want to learn, and that's awesome because they'll jump in and start with those basic kits and put together the kit that they want, building their own enclosures, 3D printing their own enclosures, modifying, things like this. Here where I'm at in Albania right now in Europe, I found this at the local store, and it was not even $2. And so it's a outdoor weather enclosure for wiring, but I should be able to build myself a little outdoor node with that. So those type of things are what I'm interested in, but not everybody's interested in that. So if you're in the US, Rack Wireless is the perfect solution for you. And yes, I am an affiliate with Rack Wireless. So there's going to be some affiliate links down below if you're interested. I love and appreciate the support. It helps me. Basically, I use it to buy more LoRa stuff to play around with, test, and share that type of stuff with you guys. So it's not a big breadwinner. I'm not paying bills with it, that's for sure. But it is appreciated. So you'll go over there. Why I say U.S. based is because, or North America technically, because the 950 megahertz range is what North America uses in the ISM, International Scientific Measurement Bands. Yeah. I'll put a link for that in here, because you can look at that and go, hey, guess what? They have their stuff in a U.S.-based warehouse in Florida, or at least their headquarters in Florida. I assume their warehouse is there also. So if they have it in stock, you are going to get it within a reasonable amount of time. I was receiving all my stuff on the West Coast within less than 2 weeks usually, kind of depending on what day I ordered it and that type of thing. And of course, what type of shipping, because they do offer different levels of shipping. So they're a great go-to for US-based buyers, right? So if you're not, you're in Europe, and that's why I think the Heltechs seem to be more popular here in Europe. Andy's channel, I can't remember his last name, but he's in the UK, as far as I'm aware. Yeah, he's in the UK. I do know that for sure, because I've watched his videos, and he's outside of London somewhere. But anyways, he seems to like a lot of the Heltech devices. It seems like they might be a little easier to get in that part of Europe. So those, can be purchased through Heltech or the like AliExpress or any of the Chinese-based distributors. You're going to wait for them though. So whether you're in the U.S. and you're ordering from Rack Wireless direct, but if you're looking for something outside region, like I'm in Europe, learned really quickly because I was trying to buy just Europe-based type, that 868 megahertz devices. To come to find out, these LilyGo devices are the same. And I just finished up doing a little bit of research on the Rack Wireless devices, their WizBlock series, and they, from what I had, and I'll put a screenshot up in here, is they also are available, their H and their L models of chips. H1s are good, and it'll show you the frequency band. You're going to see that here in the screen. That they can also be used in multiple locations. You want the H1s for certain regions and the Ls for other regions, but you have the flexibility with the crystal oscillators inside to, when you do select that it's not up on the screen, but the region, let me see if I can get back there, your region here, and that when you're setting it up in the Meshtastic app, I'll just show that in the screenshot in the Meshtastic app. You go EU 868, then you're up and running, and you're not having to buy new devices if you travel like I do or live and work now in a European country. So those are kind of options. Rack Wireless also offers cases now. So that's another barrier to entry, right? If you buy a device that doesn't include a case, which really the only off-the-shelf ones right now is, to my awareness, if somebody knows about something, of course, just throw that comment down below, share it with the rest of us, is the Heltec ones. They have a case, they come with a case, and then the LilyGo T Echo comes in a ASB, ABS, geez, ABS, injected molded type case. So they're ready to go off the shelf. If you don't, you're going to need either know somebody with a 3D printer or buy a 3D printing case off of someplace like Etsy. There's plenty of great stores. Tony G, who's also, I wasn't aware, he's also one of the contributors to Meshtastic, and so, but he also has his own store. I've purchased some of his cases in the past, and now I just use his STL files to print my own, although I don't have a printer here in Albania with me. So, and I don't know if I'll find one here because things are a little harder to find here. So that's a to be determined thing, and it's not worth trying to ship. The cost of shipping and customs and all that is sure my thing. Sorry, my computer was trying to log out on me. So that's a to be determined. So we'll see. I have found local print lab type places where you can take your files, pay them to print something for you. So maybe that's what I use if I want to print my own or print something here locally until I can figure out how to get one that's reasonably priced. So that's a restriction here with this country. Maybe I'll talk about that in future videos, but is getting goods imported is really challenging. So without paying sometimes more than the thing might be worth, it would between shipping and customs, so fees. So that's part of traveling and not always being in the U.S. where we can go get that awesome 1 day prime shipping, blah blah blah. Okay, so that's where we're kind of at. I mean, it's the off the shelf is, I believe, that type of thing with Rack Wireless or Rockland selling those cases. However, they're sold out, which that tells me between the devices being sold out, LilyGo, Rack Wireless, all these different things being sold out from Rockland or direct from Rack Wireless, direct from LilyGo. LilyGo's site, if I remember right, is not good about telling you whether or not it's in stock or not. They'll allow you to order it, and then you'll realize that it's not in stock because 2-3 weeks later it hasn't shipped, and you're like, what's going on? I had that problem prior to coming here. I'd ordered some stuff. I ended up canceling the order, and they weren't paying about it. They just canceled it and refunded me my money. But it was clear to me that they did not have, it was not available in stock because they hadn't shipped, because they were, in the past when I've ordered direct through either Rack or LilyGo, they typically have shipped within a very reasonable amount of time. So that's just where we're at. All right, final thoughts. Closing, I guess, is so here I am in Albania, right? I've been running around a little bit with these. I'm going to convert my T Echo back to kind of a more discrete device, which is going to require an antenna or more or smaller antenna. I'm going to be ordering a few antennas. I won't be getting those until I travel back, probably springtime to the U.S. to I'll get them, and then when I come back again, I'll bring them back with me, because that's really the best way to get something here, especially something small like that. Just having to deal with the really high cost of shipping and then a custom fee. It literally, I've looked at it, it's like double the amount of what those antennas would cost. So it's not worth it. So not for me at least. So I'm going to get those, just so it's something more that I can, carry in a pocket and be a little less discreet about it. Because as far as I can tell, there is, and I am in the, Tirana, their largest city, and their capital and largest city in Albania, and I have not picked up on anybody else using LoRa here. So we'll see. I'm on the default channel. Maybe when summer season rolls around and tourists start rolling in, I'll see some more, and there might be some tourists, that are using it. But right now, I'm not seeing much here. But I know, looking and following these other YouTubers that are talking about it in the U.S., a lot of areas and cities are really starting to blow up, where they're starting to see huge numbers of users popping up on their channels or on the default channel. So next, probably within a video or two, I'll be doing an MQTT, and I want to set that up to where so I could communicate with one of my kids in the U.S. and here. That'll be kind of fun. Plus, I've never done it. I want to walk myself through it, and then I'll do a video on it. There's some other videos out there, but that's one of the ways I like to learn things, is walk myself through it and then walk others through it. Helps kind of build that knowledge in my head and kind of keep it rooted in there. So, all right. Let me know what you think. If there's any ideas you have, what are you seeing in your areas? Are you seeing a massive explosion of it? Have you proselytized anybody into your family, friends group, convince them that these are really cool, or they all still think they're weird and you're weird? Hey, it's good to be weird. So, hey, thanks for watching. Don't forget, you can check out my whole LoRa Mesh Communications video playlist over at my old channel right here. And you can subscribe to this channel. That would help support me. You can check out the website right now. Link will be up here also. It is my Ravenwood Acres channel. I will have a EmComm Solutions channel in the future, or website. That's future stuff. So social media links down below, comments, affiliate links, everything down below. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more. Have a great day.